Disclaimer: everything in this video is exaggerated for dramatic effect. It's all for fun. If you take it seriously, that's on you. Please don't send help. This is Mavuika. She's all-powerful, a top meta pick. She's the goddess of war, the Pyro Archon, the ruler of Natlang. And in the lands of Tevat, few names burn brighter. And she completely ruined me. Let me tell you a story. I'm an Amber main. Well, former Amber main. Amber was the first character I leveled to 90. Not crowned, but I loved her anyway. Let me start from the very beginning. From the moment I met Amber in the beginning of Genshin Impact, I was drawn to her peppy, upbeat, happy-go-lucky attitude. She was always positive, always energetic, like a bright little spark. She made me feel like I could face anything, like no problem was too big, as long as she was by my side. And of course, Baron Bunny's silly antics only made it better. I wasn't trying to be the best player or the smartest builder of characters. I just enjoyed playing with Amber. I built a team of only Mondstadt characters, some of whom are now considered outdated by the current meta. And honestly, I was totally fine with that. I was living in bliss, just playing the game my way, enjoying the characters I liked. No pressure to optimize or chase the latest meta. Ignorance was bliss. Around that time, my daughter and I were in different countries. I started playing more with her, sharing my screen, and sometimes doing co-op adventures in Genshin. It was never about the game's deepest mechanics or meta. I would log in, do dailies when I could, and only do quests when I felt like it. No strict order. To be honest, I wasn't even sure what the right order of story quests was. I didn't understand pity, banners, or even what a spiral abyss was. I didn't even know it existed at first. I was just happy exploring the open world. I love open world games, like The Witcher 3, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and Final Fantasy 15. Genshin's map felt endless, a vast unknown quantity, full of wonder. Every hill, every turn filled with danger, treasure, or sometimes both. Even if I didn't know what I was doing, it always felt like a grand adventure. So I took my time wandering, shooting arrows, and throwing Baron Bunny wherever it made sense. For the longest time, I was locked in Mondstadt and Liyue because I didn't know any better. This casual on and off playstyle went on for 2 or 3 years after the game launched. In fact, it took me nearly 3 years to even reach Inazuma, the only major region in Genshin that's story locked. You can't access it by just walking in. I didn't pay much attention to patch updates. I missed anything big in 2.0, 3.0, and 4.0. I wasn't chasing the meta, and that was okay. I simply didn't care enough. For a long while, the only time I hyper-invested was when I finally figured out artifacts. About a year and a half after starting, that was when I started grinding just a bit more seriously. But overall, I didn't dig super deep into the game. I had other priorities, other games I enjoyed, and life and career kept me busy. So, Genshin was always this fun side world for me. Still, I always followed the Archon updates because the characters fascinated me, and that fascination comes from my lifelong love of mythology. I've always been intrigued by mythological gods, Greek gods like Zeus, Norse gods like Thor and Odin, and other cultures. These powerful, omnipotent beings who sometimes live among humans, often interacting with them, and sometimes starting families with mortals, which gives rise to heroes who are half god, half human, like Hercules. I love those stories, the mix of divine and mortal, the heroic struggles, the flaws, the interactions with humanity, and Genshin's story and lore has some fascinating parallels. That's why the Archons in Genshin really grabbed my interest. Venti, the carefree bard who embodies freedom, who is also the Animo Archon. Zhongli, the Geo Archon with a stoic, ancient wisdom. Raiden Shogun, the Electro Archon with her complex ideals about eternity. Nahida, the gentle and curious Dendro Archon and Goddess of Wisdom. And Furina, who holds the title of Hydro Archon, whose story I was still unfolding as I reached Fontaine back then. And then came the moment that changed everything for me. When I saw an official post that the Pyro Archon was about to be released, boom. I wasn't just intrigued, I was smitten. Her leather-clad biker girl outfit, her attitude. It was love at first sight. I needed her. I wanted her. That one image reignited a fire in me to come back to the game properly. I patiently awaited her banner, ready to pull. But here's the thing. After I pulled Mavuika, I didn't build her right away because I hadn't even unlocked her full map region yet. And yes, I know you can literally just walk straight into the map, but I chose not to because I wanted to experience the story and the map in order. So she tagged along as a lower level member of my main Amber team. Even at level 40 or 50, she was already out-damaging Amber's highest hits by a mile. I could feel the gradual shift in my attitude towards Amber's gameplay. And if I'm being real, even then I already knew what the general Genshin community thought of Amber, especially from meta players. And they all say the same thing. Amber isn't worth building or leveling up. But I didn't care. I played for love. I played for the waifu. So I blissfully kept using Amber, even with Mavuika on the team out-damaging her. Weeks passed, I finally finished all the main story quests and reached Mavuika's region because I didn't want to skip any maps. I'm not a skipper after all. I wanted to experience the story organically as the game intended. Finally, I got Mavuika to max level. Started leveling her talents, weapons, and artifacts. And then I saw what she was capable of at full build. Back in my peak Amber main days, I was so proud of pulling off 40,000 crit damage with a single charged shot from Amber. But to even pull off that charged shot, you needed skill. You had to evade enemies carefully and aim at the enemy's weak spot for massive damage. If you got hit by even a weak enemy, Amber's attack would be interrupted, all that charging time wasted, and the whole combo would fall apart. With Mavuika, it was a near effortless 2-button combo and boom! Instant 1 million burst damage. My mouth just dropped. I was speechless. That was the moment I knew. It was the end of an era. The end of my Amber era. My Amber is still Constellation 2, and I hope one day, maybe a year or two from now, she'll get her elusive Constellation 6, one of the rarest constellations since she's not in any limited banners. But for now, she's benched on my account. And honestly, I feel a little guilty seeing her still smiling and happy in the character screen, but not part of my main team anymore. Will I become an Amber main again when I get her to C6? Only time will tell. And so, in a way, Mavuika ruined me. She shattered my innocent bliss with Genshin. I still enjoy the game immensely, logging in every day, wailing on the newer banners. But my perspective has definitely changed. I'm now a self-aware, sometimes sweaty meta player, fully tuned in to the deeper combat mechanics, sometimes down to a science. The world of Tevat, once a vast playground of wonder and discovery, has become a grid of resource nodes, artifact domains, and daily optimization. I now 36-star the Spiral Abyss regularly, almost without effort. Imaginarium Theater? Cleared with confidence. I track team rotations, damage windows, energy generation, resonance buffs automatically. I've gone from wide-eyed wanderer to a calculated builder. I'm consciously investing in my favorite characters. Vertically, through max level, talents, weapons, constellations, and horizontally, ensuring I have full teams ready for every element, reaction type, and endgame mode. And 6 months later, the new endgame, Stygian Onslaught, has launched. A mode they deem is built for whales. It's brutal, punishing, and unpredictable. And yet, I'm thriving in it. And somehow, Amber is too. Turns out, she's one of the best picks against the Lava Golem boss, thanks to her area of effect burst with quick pyro application. So once again, I brought her back in. Not just a bench warmer, but as a solution. It might just be a temporary glimmer of hope, a passing meta niche. But for a moment, just for a moment, it felt like the stars had aligned. And you know what? I still chase that feeling, because even though I've lost that old sense of innocent wonder, thanks to Mavuika's immense presence, I still look forward to every new region, story quest, and every new map expansion, because for a little while, it brings that feeling back, that spark, that awe, that urge to just walk and look around. It doesn't last forever, but when it comes, it reminds me why I fell in love with the world of Genshin Impact in the first place. So now I want to ask you, who was your original main? Are they still on your team today? Or did you, like me, eventually let them go? If you watch until this part of the video, you are a total champ. Thank you so much for your company. Why don't you drop a fire emoji in the comments to show me and to everyone that you did make it until this part of the video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!